It says Shaun Brown for Boxing Social. Today I'm joined by Tyrone McKenna, the mighty Celt,
What's happening?
and also Call of Duty gamer extraordinaire.
I wouldn't go that far. It's not like my boxing. I'm not that good at it. It just playing.
How's things, Tyrone?
Brilliant. Just 2 sessions in the day. Good day's training, and now chilling in the hotel. Pretty boring life, to be honest.
So you're actually in Dubai now?
No, I'm in Dublin.
Oh, you're
So
in Dublin. Right.
I stayed in Dublin in the hotel.
Right.
10 weeks. 10 weeks.
Right. So when are you actually heading out?
I leave Dublin on Wednesday and then fly on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. So I'll get there Monday night or Monday morning, early Monday morning.
Right. Now, obviously, you've got this fight coming up in 12 days, but just going back to last year, taking away the actual fight that you had last year, what was the year like for you overall with the pandemic and whatnot?
Do you know what? The pandemic is exactly like? It's exactly like camp life. So you can't go out and have food. You can't go out and have a drink. You have to sit in your house, and you have to train every day. That's basically all done. And so it was like a year-long camp, very boring, and just trying to. I didn't have much fights. Obviously, I had 2 fights during the pandemic, which is a lot more than most people had. But I was just obviously was trying to not overindulge and like have too much drink and too much eating Chinese, and try and get my training done Monday to Friday. But obviously, sometimes it's hard because you're bored and you don't know when your next fight's going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones where I had 2 fights in the year. I think that's about the most that anyone had was about 2 fights through the pandemic. So, and that's my third. So I'm actually doing well.
And those two that you spoke about, obviously you had a fantastic win over Mimune, and then you fought O'Hara, your long-term rival, which didn't go your way, obviously. Looking back at that fight specifically, do you have any regrets at all?
I don't know about regrets because I thought during the fight I was winning the fight, and the way I was boxing was winning me the fight. So I don't regret boxing like that because I believe it was the right tactics, and I still believe that I did win. Obviously, the judges didn't see it that way. I'm not going to get better with that. They seen what they seen. So I'm not going to regret the way I boxed, but it's frustrating thinking that if I had put it on him, I probably could have came away with the win. But I stuck to my game plan probably for the first time in my career. I stuck to boxing, and it didn't benefit me. And it's frustrating that being a good boxer and actually boxing doesn't win you a boxing fight. They want to see someone that brawls, and it's been an eye opener where I went, right, okay, you somehow don't like boxing in a sport that is called boxing. So it's like fighters, it's like people coming forward. So I know what I have to do when I am away. So yeah, I learned a lot of things from that fight.
So what would you say that you learned specifically?
I've learned that never to take for granted that you're winning the fight. Because you know the way the judges are going to be looking at it. Like I didn't go away from that fight leaving everything in the ring because I thought I was winning. I thought I was cruising. I didn't have to take any risks. And now I know you could never feel that way. You have to give it everything, and even if you do think you're winning, you may not be winning on the scorecard. So always push.
And after that fight, was there any fears that you might not get back to getting into big fights straight away?
Uh, yeah, maybe. I didn't think it would get a title fight straight away.
Yeah.
I thought I said to my manager straight away, Jimmy Conlon, I said, look, I thought I won, he thought I won. I proved that I belong in a certain level. I don't want to go back to fighting Jeremy and warm up fights and bounce back fights. That's not my style. It's not something that gets me up in the morning. And he agreed. And yeah, I said, look, at my next fight, I want a hard fight. I don't want an easy win. And he went out. I didn't think he was going to get that good a fight, that big and night on Herring-Frampton show against an undefeated fighter for a WBO Intercontinental belt, but he did, and I'm buzzing. I was buzzing when I heard the news. I mean, I was offered 3 people in the same week,
Right.
and 3 of them obviously took Turarov fight. It was the hardest fight, but I took that fight because it was a title fight, and I want to test myself with who I think's good fighters, and I think Turarov is a good fighter. The other 2 fights were good fights, but they weren't for titles. They weren't for anything. So I picked the hardest fight. I don't know.
Because I spoke to you, it was just actually a quick text. I think it was a couple of weeks back, maybe, don't know. Last month it was actually. And I asked you if you were going to get back to the old Tyrone, and you said, War McKenna all day, 10 rounds of blood. If I don't look like the Elephant Man after this scrap, I'm not happy. Is that still the same?
That's the mentality I've got. I have this mentality this whole camp. I am going to war. I am pressure, and it's going to be a bloodbath. And I love it. I love when I come out of a fight. My 2 eyes are swollen. I can barely see out of them. I can barely speak because my lips are swollen, and that's what I love. I love that. I hate going out. Like, there's been a few fights where I boxed on real, jumped out, and I haven't got a scratch on me, and I haven't been happy. I mean, like, I don't even feel like I've fought. So as I said, the last fight was an eye opener, and this one I'm going to show what I've learned, and that's that you can't take anything for granted, and I'm just going to go forward for a war. It's what judges want, it's what people want, it's what everyone wants to see. So that's what I'm going to give you. I'm an entertainer. I give the people what they want to give, what they want, and they want war. I'll give them more.
And this man that you're going to face, Turarov, I think his name, Zhankosh Turarov, sorry. He is highly thought of. I mean, do you know much about him anyway in general?
Do you know what? He was supposed to be in the Golden Contract. He was favourite in the Golden Contract in the bookies. So I have watched a lot of them. I've been watching them for years since then. So he's a good fighter. He's 24-0 for a reason, but he hasn't fought any high caliber of fighter. Like, he's 24-0. I'm only 21-2, and I'm ranked a lot higher than him because of the caliber of fight I'm doing. The people he's fought, I was fighting them in my 10th fight, and I got past him relatively quickly. He's stuck with that kind of level for the last. I think he's been pro the last 12 years, or a long time.
Yeah, he's been he's been a pro since February 2009,
and he hasn't really stepped it up. So, is there something lacking in his mentality where he's scared to step up, or what's a crack? Like, if he's highly regarded so much, why hasn't he took that step up yet? So I think there's something lacking there. He's been very inactive. He comes and goes. So does he actually live a life of a boxer? I don't know. I do think he is skilled. I've watched him. He looks smart. He's slick. He looks like he hits hard. So we'll see on the night if he's a hype job or if he's the real deal. And let's hope he's a hype job.
You're 31, aren't you?
Yeah, unfortunately.
And as you said, you've only had, what, 23, 24 fights?
Yeah.
I mean, but you have had some hard fights. I mean, even though you are 31, but you maybe not had the number of fights that someone your age would have had normally.
Yeah.
Do you still feel fresh?
Yeah. You know what? I feel the same as I did when I was 25 years old or 24 years old. Training wise, sparring wise, I don't think I've slowed down any. I still train as hard as I did when I was younger. I probably train harder than I did when I was younger. More professional and stuff like that. So I don't think I've lost any wage. So yeah, no, I don't feel like I'm aging at all. I'm getting the opposite. I'm getting better and better.
And as for the show itself, as you said, massive show, massive main event as well. Your man Frampton, can you do it?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe he's the opposite of me, where I'm a 6'1" fighter that boxes like I'm 5'4" most of the time, and he's a 5'5" boxer who fights like he's 6'1". So he's very good at judging distance and keeping it long and outboxing the taller fighter. And I believe that's what he's going to do against Jamel Herring. I think Jamel Herring probably thinks, oh, he's tall, so he's going to outbox him.
Yeah,
but he's going to end up getting outboxed by a lot smaller man. I believe it's going to be points. I don't think it's going to be any spectacular knockout, but I think it's going to be a point win, a solid point win for Carl from.
And this fight for you, Tyrone, is it make or break?
I feel that way. I feel that I have to win this fight. I will win this fight. I mean, if you give a man no option but to win or retire, then I'm going to win. I'm going to grind it out all day. Like, I mean, in my head, I have to win this fight, and I will win this fight. Also, think when I win this fight, it opens a lot of doors. It opens a lot of opportunities. So I'm excited about it. I mean, Turarov is good, but I don't think he's as good as everyone thinks he is or says he is. And I think the lack of experience and the lack of inactivity is just going to play a major factor in this.
Great. Okay, that's been great speaking to you, Tyrone. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Wish you all the very best.